Hey everyone, and welcome back to another week of Shiggles. I'm with that guy Rickster,
Hello, Darren here, guys.
and this week we're kicking things off by talking about people's obsession with killers.
And before we get into that,
Oh, we're okay.
but yeah, that's the first thing we're going to talk about. But before I get into that, like one of our listeners commented on the last episode,
Oh,
right? And he was on my side for that
I
riveting
think I saw that
conversation.
comment.
He said something, and I'm glad he said it. I've never thought about it like that. And from now on, whenever that argument comes up, this is going to be what I'm going to say. So he texted me like he was talking about it, and he's like telling someone to not go out there and be desperate and chase love or chase having a romantic partner or whatever. It doesn't make any sense to him. And he said that for everything in life, you have to go out there and work for it and chase it, whatever you want. Especially money. You're not going to tell someone, oh, I need more money. You're not going to tell them, oh, money will find you. No, money will not find you. You have to go outside, do the work for the money to come to you. You got to put things into place. So I'm like, you're kind of right, because if somebody tell me that them broke and them sit down, but I go tell them, say, oh, God will provide a way, or the money will just show up. Well, I go say, get up off your lazy ass and go work, go look at work, go look something to make money. So when he said that to me, I'm like, you're right. Telling someone to sit and wait for something and not like actively put in the work, even if it's desperate, doesn't really make much sense because
So I, at no point last week, told anybody to sit their ass down and not put in the work to find love.
you are
What I
telling people
said
that they're
was,
desperate.
no, what I said was, like, maybe if you don't make it so obvious that you are desperate to find love, maybe then you'll meet somebody, and without, like, in the moment, that person becomes like the most important person in your life. That's not me
Potato,
telling you.
potato,
No, but
potato,
that's not me telling
potato.
you to like sit down and not try to find love. I never said that. But
You said people are desperate, but it's like the same. It's the
I just
same
clarified what I
thing,
said. So
child. Anyway, so if you want something, go out there and find it. That's how
So
this
people are
world
very
works.
obsessed with killers, and it's rather interesting to me.
So now, this is one thing I've learned about society. There's a lot of immoral things
Yes.
out there, not just killing, but there's a lot of immoral things out there where people partake in and they do it and da 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 da. You have a side of the population of humans that will never, have never done these things, but they live their life vicariously through the people who do these things. Now, killers, serial killers, and people who do these things, I've realized, like with Netflix and Ryan Murphy and all these people continuously doing like these shows, it brings forth that people are actually into these things. And I'm not sure like if they're coming from like the horror genre or something like that, but it's like it gives them a thrill, and they watch these type of movies and they see these type of things and they know that it's wrong and they will never do it, but they glorify these things. It's almost like a cult per
So
se.
you're going in another direction from what I was thinking.
It don't matter, but it's just there's other
No, yeah,
way,
I get
other
that. That's
things.
one side of it. But the reason why I had put that topic in the docket this week is because the whole thing with the
Not
New
the
York,
docket.
with the United Healthcare guy that they killed in New York. And ever since they allegedly found the guy who did the killing, you've just been seeing his photos all over the internet. Oh my gosh, he's so hot, he's so cute. I can change him. And I'm like, are you forgetting that he is being charged with murder? And then I look back at like Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and the Night Stalker, all these people where you have these women showing up to their court hearings being like, oh my gosh, he's so cute, I just love him so much. Uh, Especially like Ted
But it's
Bundy,
not.
where Ted
It's
Bundy
not.
was literally raping and killing women, and women are showing up to his courtroom being like, he's so cute, I love him. Girl, he kills women.
But it's not straying from what I was saying.
No, you're not far.
People are attracted. to those things. You're attracted to danger,
It's
like the thrill
weird
of it
to
and that
me.
thing. I know it's weird and it's
It
morbid, but
is.
you do have people who like
Cause
that.
guess the thing. I watch murder mysteries, but I'm never going to be like, oh my gosh, they're so hot.
But
No.
in his case, what I must say is, separate and aside from the fact that people are like the swooning or whatever over him and all of that, you have to remember his situation. Allegedly, if it's him, because I don't really think it's him, but I'm not really
A
going to
lot
get
of
into
people
that.
don't think it's him.
It's just there's a lot of inconsistencies. But anyways, separate and aside from that, I wouldn't want to say like it's maybe it's like an anti-hero per se,
Yeah, because a lot of
right?
people are
So
relating to what
he
he did,
so
what
he
happened.
hit. No, but to be honest, like let me say this, and this kind of is slightly divergent from the point. I'm all for the world ending. Like if someone tell me that the world is ending right now, I'll be like, oh thank God. Why? The reason why it's because of this level of capitalism that we're
Yep.
living in,
I knew
and
this is where you
it
were going
ties
with
in.
it.
And it's just like we people are just tired. Like you
Yeah.
have to work so hard, and then you have some people who are just so dense and obtuse to whatever is going on. They're just like, oh okay, whatever. People are not suffering, but people are literally suffering,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people are complaining that separate and aside from this, the healthcare industry, which we know is a business, like they
It's the
could give two
darkest.
shit.
Is they are evil people in the healthcare
They
industry.
could give two shit as to if it is that you're alive or dead, as long as they get their money. And people are frustrated with that. And a lot of the comments I've been seeing is that, oh my god, like I don't care because when my aunt or my grandparent or my friend needed so
Mm-hmm.
and so, insurance automatically, oh we don't do that,
And it's
oh we don't
mostly
do
the
this, and people are
insurance.
just
It's
fed
not
up.
just healthcare, it's the insurance because we're paying insurance for these things, but at the same time, whenever something happens, you're like, oh no, we
It's not
can't pay for
coverage,
that. It's not covered.
and people are
And
just
people are
fed up.
frustrated.
And
They're
as
upset.
and
Rightfully so.
outside of insurance, you can see, and outside of healthcare, you can just see how disgruntled people are
Oh
with these
yeah, people are fed up.
corporations. And again, as I said, it comes back to capitalism because people are fed up because nobody can afford anything, and they know it's because of corporate greed, and that's the reason why they're pointing out the CEOs, and they're like, he started something that everyone is just freaking fed up off.
Hmm.
So there's a
And
side
like a
of
lot of other
glorifying
companies,
him.
they have been taking down photos of the CEO and something like, if people really
Exactly.
want to find you, we are in a
They can
digital
find
age.
you, and
They
people
will
already
find
know who
you.
you are. The
Exactly. So
information
you
is there.
removing your
It's
photo,
like
that's not going to like save you if somebody should be coming at you. Because at the end of the day, like you're making $8 million a year. Meanwhile, and just for denying claims to people who are sick and need to be held. Why I've always asked this question, like why is it that in a first world country healthcare is so freaking expensive, and you think
the,
it should be accessible, but it is really not for the regular guy out there. It's really not, because everything is just so freaking expensive. And don't end up in the hospital, because if you do, you are in debt for the rest of your life.
don't fall down and call the ambulance. It's better if someone calls an Uber. You pay
Mm-hmm.
$100 and you pay them back as to call in the
Oh
ambulance.
yeah.
But this is what I realized, right? And as I said, like one set, most people I've seen, they're like, yeah, it's about time. Like people are fed up with y'all's bullshit. So like anybody who needs to die needs to die, and it's a part of capitalism that I want us to reach or get to because it just needs to collapse. Like it's just corporate greed for a
But
lot
that's the
of
sad
things.
part of it. It's never going to collapse. It's
Yeah,
never going
unfortunately. But I
to.
mean, it's kind of fun for people to see. But also,
Oh, I
you do
know,
have the
which is why
gays
this whole thing had started a couple of years ago. But I think it was like eating the billionaires or something like that.
eat the rich.
Eat the rich, yes,
Because
that was the one.
that's the end stage of late stage capitalism, which is when the poor people just get fed up and like it don't matter if you're rich, who you are, like you're all gonna, sort of thing. But of
Yeah,
course you have the gays TM on the other side saying that he's hot and he's cute and he's
but it's not
sexy
just the
and
gays. It's
whatever.
like everybody. I've been
But
seeing it all. Well, mostly from gay people, but it's all over the internet. It's just so weird.
in reality, yeah, he died, he got a family and da 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 da. But guess what? I really don't care. I'm
You
not
were
one of them that's on the internet that's like, oh, he's so sexy, I can change him. I literally care nothing about how he looks physically. Yes, he looks
same. I
attractive.
really don't care
However,
either.
however, me, I don't care in two ways. I don't care that people are swooning over him or glorifying him, and also don't care that that man died. And also, it's sad and it's kind of like it sounds like a terrible thing to say, but it's just that we're at this stage in society where everything is so complex, so expensive, like primarily expensive. It's just that, oh, a rich person died. It's just like I could give two shits. I really don't care.
They'll be fine.
And people are like they have families and stuff like that. I'm like, everyone have families. Well, at least his family is taken care of because maybe he had a will and they have hundreds of $1,000s. I'm kind of sorry, like
Millions, not thousands,
millions, like
millions.
they have go grieve and wipe your tears with your money. But if I should die right now, there's no millions behind my name. And
There
I'm
we
sure
go.
a lot of people have suffered at the cost of companies like this or died because of companies like this.
Oh
It's
no,
like
because
I don't really
you
care that
know the job
much.
I do. Like I have people coming in all the time saying how, oh, don't get old because the government don't care about you. Or, like I've been paying social security all my life, and like they don't do this, they don't do that, and it's like, oh, that I feel it for you. That is fucked up because it's true. Like after working all these years, you retire, think you're going to be able to just relax and have fun, but your retirement, you're just left there. Like there's nothing to really help you, which is why a lot of people, especially now, most people they say like secure the bag, or like people just want to make sure that they're at a place wherever they should retire, they can be comfortable.
And this is the thing I learned when I became a manager at my job, right? A lot of things I didn't think about it. Um, when I became a manager and I started talking to the execs, like the general manager, well, I talk to my GM all the time, the general manager and like store owners and stuff like that, I realized that people with that level of money, and this is a reason why I find it hard to care about people being rich when things happen to them. People with that level of money, especially when you're in a corporation setting, you they stop seeing people as people.
Yep,
It's now numbers. It's like head numbers, how
that is
much
true.
money I can pump out of this one person.
Mm-hmm.
And people, and that's when they take all the humanity out of everything, and that's the reason why they sound so out of touch when they comment on things. And the day I learned that, because like I was talking about something, I'm like, people feel this way, and I was talking more on the emotional aspect and the physical labor aspect. And this man responded to me like, oh, but the paper says this one person should be pumping this money. And I'm like, are we talking about machines or people? Because the conversation sounded very, and I was just
Because
blown
the thing
away.
is, what I've noticed, once they get up to that level,
It's a numbers game.
all they do is just regurgitate what corporate says.
It's a
So even
numbers
if you
game.
come with something else, oh well, this is what we should be doing. The
Should
book
be
says
doing.
this, blah blah blah. And I'm like, but we're talking about people here. So
No, they don't do it like that.
yeah, I
And that's
know.
the reason why I can't have like any sympathy or empathy for them, because like once they're in that position, it's very numbers. This guy looked at me and be like, oh, but you have five people for the hour, which you should be making $1,000. You don't need another more. And I'm saying, hey, I need two more people because it's busy as hell. But no, the spreadsheet says.
Especially now,
And
like December.
that taught me a lot. And I stopped complaining about or putting forward certain things when it comes to like the emotional or physical aspect, because I'm like, these people really don't
Yeah,
care.
because even at my job, we need at least two more people to be handling everything that's going on. Because at no given time should one person be at an entire running an entire place by themselves. That makes no sense. But the response is always, oh, we don't have enough hours and corporate is not giving us enough hours and blah blah blah. But then whenever people decide that they're going to quit, then you'll be like, oh no, why are you leaving? Well, working
You shocked?
conditions are not
Why you
good. I'm
shocked?
not going to stay here like
Like, why
that.
you
Why are you
shocked?
shocked? Makes no sense. But
So
also for them, everybody is replaceable. So you leave, they can get somebody else to fill your spot anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So with them be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's why I've never been into this, oh, we're a family type thing when it comes to job to work, because I'm just here to make money and go home. I don't I'm not that into that, oh, we're a family here. Cause no.
Anyways, so in this particular case, like I would have probably side eye people if it was a mass murder sort of situation and all of that, like something gruesome like that. But it in this particular case, I'm like, fuck them niggas. Anyways, so if people, I'm not really side eyeing anybody for like. I mean, it's a little bit annoying because it's oversaturated on the internet. That
Yes, it
much I can
is.
say. But in terms of people, I really don't care. Like, who's next?
Even the Menendez brothers, everybody's like, "Oh, they should let them out of prison, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Are you forgetting that they killed their parents in
Well,
cold blood?"
that story's a little bit conflicting for me. As in, well, the way it was portrayed on Netflix, if that's how it actually happened,
Yeah, that's Ryan
this
Murphy. You know
this
he's going to
this
make it
the
very gay.
scales are up and down for me because I sympathize with them if they were going through that level of abuse because that can mess your brain up. But then if they lied and they didn't, so it's like if that is true, okay, whatever, kill them bitches. If that is not true and it's made up and you guys are making this story up to get off the
But
case,
again,
then
it's Netflix,
that's
it's
the reason
Ryan
why I said
Murphy.
like
You know they're going to exaggerate stuff to make it more marketable and more fun and entertaining. But at the end of the day, I'm like, they killed their parents. Why are we all being like, oh no, they've served their time, let them out now? They killed their parents. Okay. And then they're in prison. How the fuck are they married? They got married in prison to women on the outside. What are you do you so you these two men are in prison for life and you're going to get married to them? What the fuck are you doing with your life? How
it's
desperate are you?
conjugal visit. But the funny thing is that when I was young and I thought of prison as you're in a box cage, you get fed 3 times a day, you maybe can go outside, exercise, play a little ball. End of story. As an adult, seeing the amount of access things and things that people have, they're basically living like a free life without freedom. They get a lot of things for free and they're
They
still
do.
engaged in a lot of things. And I try not to
But to
think
say
about
that
it.
you're in a relationship and married to somebody who is in prison, you know that physical attraction and like touching someone and all that, there's none of that there. So how does that work? I don't get how
They
that
get conjugal
works.
visits.
But how often do you get that? That's the thing.
Listen, this is a different story, and I really don't care about what they be doing in prison. They be sexing each other's in the prison, and they get
We've
the
seen the
wardens and all of that.
videos.
So it's just like, uh,
No, no, not talking about the people on the inside. I'm talking about the people on the outside. Like
they don't
especially,
care.
especially if you weren't married to them before they went into prison. Like that's a different story. But somebody goes into prison and you, how did you even like end up meeting the person in order to get married to them? Like I don't
They can
get
go to the
that.
prison and visit. They send letters and stuff
So
like that and pen pals, and they go
weird.
visit.
Jesus. Anyway, enough about this. It's been 18 minutes.
You sound upset like you have somebody in prison.
It's just
But
weird. I just find it
anyways,
very weird. But anywho. So
that
temporary people, permanent problem, lessons. What
as an
it's
adult,
are we moving on or are we talking about the same thing?
no, we're talking about the same thing.
Oh, okay. I don't okay.
As an adult, like right now in my current life, I've learned to be very wary of new people. I absolutely hate living like this. Hate.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say this. Because I'm the sort of person where I give you the benefit of the doubt until you prove me otherwise. However, in this current day and age, you have to give people the doubt first. You can't give them the benefit, right? And this even works for like your current friends. So it's like when I meet new people, I'm very cautious. Eggshells, water,
Very
all of that, like
aware.
walking, like very aware. Because I'm trying to avoid those permanent lessons from these people who I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that well. So the way I approach getting to know people or getting to meet new people, I try to not just give too much of myself immediately.
Yeah.
Because these, I'm not going to let somebody that I just met 2 3 weeks ago, 2 3 months ago, give me a permanent ass lesson that my friends for 10 8 years have never given me. That's how I approach the
That's
situation
true.
now. And it's sad to think about it like that. But as I
It's
said,
not really
new
sad though.
people, no, because
Because in
you
the
should be open. You shouldn't. This is the reason why I say sad. And sorry to cut you. The reason why I say it's sad is because innately I'm not a pessimistic person. I'm a very optimistic person. So to think about or looking at brand new people who have never done me anything in a slightly pessimistic way for self preservation in the future, I don't like that.
some would say that's a trauma response,
No,
but
but I mean, people are walking traumatizing people. So why the hell I
I
want you to come
know,
and traumatize me for
I
the next
know.
years? And you are just this insignificant. And I'm tired of the lessons. There's nothing,
Yeah.
and I hate to say this. There's nothing else I think I want to learn at this particular stage of my life. When it comes to friends, relationship, co-workers,
Your
that there's
eyes.
nothing I think I need to
You
learn
just had
anymore.
crazy eyes when you said that.
Because
Like
I don't want to learn anything else.
your
This
eyes.
is too much.
Jesus.
Like someone on TikTok says, enough lessons. Where are
That
the fruits of the lessons? The fruits of the
oh,
lessons is what we need. Not
that
any
is
more
so true.
lessons.
Because this is some people come into your life for a season and for a reason. But
No
it's like,
more. I'm too
no
old.
more. We're tired of that at this point in time. Which is why, like, a couple years ago, I remember, especially when I just moved here, I kept saying, like, oh, I want to make new friends and blah, blah, blah. And it's so hard to make friends
Ah,
and all these things. But
not
now
anymore.
it's almost like, if I meet friends, I make friends. But at this point in my life, I have the friends I have. I don't need any more because you put yourself out there and you try to meet these people, and people are just so shallow these
And you put
days.
yourself in a vulnerable position.
Yes, and then they ghost you after a week, and like, well, what did I do to you? I didn't do anything like that. But I realize it's just the time that we're living in right now,
Mm-hmm.
where people society is very individualistic, where people are just like, I wouldn't say for themselves, but everyone is just trying to hold themselves together, I guess, so they don't really have time to let anybody in or anything
But
like
you
that.
do know what I say too. I also say that there's no real excuse. It's like the thing I usually say. It doesn't matter whatever trauma or whosoever did you what. You can still approach people with my cat has a zoomies.
Mine
Like
is outside the door
why would
scratching
you
the
have the
carpet.
zoomies right now? But anyways, it's kind of like, no, I forgot exactly what the hell I was.
Yeah, that's how it is when you're a cat person. Yeah.
But let me see if it comes back to me. What were we talking about again?
I said just now that some people, they're kind of like guarding themselves and they don't want to let
Oh
people
yeah.
in. Yes.
So this also goes with the fact that I say, like, you can, you know, get to know people the same and not also traumatize people at the same time. Still reserve a little aspect of yourself that's open, but open but guarded, so that you look out for the signs. Don't ignore the signs, because usually before something dramatic happens that can be a
There
permanent
will
lesson,
be
there are
signs.
little tiny teeny signs. So you can work on yourself, get to heal, whatever, whatever. But you pay attention to the teeny signs. You don't ignore them. What I do is that I don't act on teeny signs. I put them like a little place in the back of my head and like watch them, and then I
Do you let
prepare
them
myself.
fester and build?
Yeah, and I prepare myself so when something happens, I'm like, I had an idea,
Yeah.
sort of thing. But
And not only
I
that, I think it also goes both ways because if, let's say, you're putting yourself out there to meet people and whatever, maybe let go of some of the baggage or hurt from the past. Don't. take that to everybody that you meet, because everybody's not going to be the same as the person who hurt you in the past. And I get that is
Exactly.
hard. I get that's hard to do sometimes, but sometimes you have to leave the baggage at the door and realize that not everyone is the same and not everyone is going to do you or treat you the same way as somebody who hurt you before.
And you should be able to carry your baggage without people really knowing. Like, or
Exactly.
even like if they know, don't make it seem like a I'm the victim, woe
Yeah.
is me sort of thing. So, because I have a lot of baggage, but it's just like immediately it's not, you're not seeing all of these things. And if it does by chance like comes up, like I'm not gonna be like I'm putting it onto you. Like I will talk about it lighthearted, like this is something that I deal with
Hmm.
or I've had to deal with.
Like if you broke your legs 2 months ago, then we find out 5 years after.
Yeah, so
Just saying.
I hate to say it,
Why do
like
you keep having crazy eyes tonight? What's going on?
the cat. When the
Oh,
cat does that little
it's the
hunch,
cat.
they do that little hunch and they start jumping.
Yes. Because I'm like, what is going on over there?
But yes, I don't know. I think I'm extra cautious now when it comes to meeting
I think
people.
we all
I'm
are.
always open to
But it's
new
funny that you
friends.
said that, because another friend also said that to me. That nowadays, whenever they're meeting people, they're just so what's the word?
Guarded.
Not guarded, but almost like they're just on the watch, like on the lookout for like what's going to be weird about you.
Because it's just like
You go?
it's a
Yeah, because it
reoccurring
just keeps
thing.
happening, especially if it's
And
something that happens all the time. Like you just automatically start looking out for these signs.
you subconsciously your brain just start like going.
Yeah.
It's discernment is good. Having discernment when it comes to people is good, but sometimes it can be to your detriment because you see everything and some
And
things you can
intuition.
ignore. Yeah. And some things you can ignore. But it gets to a point where you see the story playing out and like you can see how it's going to end.
Yeah.
So what I do, as I said earlier, is I see the ending because my discernment is strong as hell. I see the ending, but I keep a side of me that says, it seems it's going to end that way, but you're not sure. So let's stay on the bus,
Let's see where it goes.
see where it goes. If
Mm-hmm.
it does end in that way, then you can say it doesn't hurt because you kind of saw it coming,
I'm
you know?
I'm a very let's go with the flow type person. You know this about me. I'm very
Hmm.
chill. So if I meet someone and whatever, and I always give this advice to friends and whenever they tell me about, oh, I met this person, and like I'm always your cat is being a menace tonight. But anyway, I'm always the one who's like, just chill, just go with the flow, see where it leads. You never know what might happen. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it works out, it does. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. And you just go with the flow. I'm that
Also,
type of
heavy,
person.
what I heavily do, just know when to leave.
There we
Um,
go. Know
the
when it's time to say
first
no
the
and end it.
first sign of something that you realize it's not going to work for you, and then you keep seeing it and you can tell where it's going to end. And like we want to see the good in people sometimes, and that is me. But just know when that, hey, this person isn't reciprocating the energy that I'm giving, or
Mm-hmm.
this is not the energy that I would like to align myself with.
Yep.
Just leave people where they're at. Don't make like a huge fuss because I used to make a huge fuss or like have conversation with people, but I realized that that is not really taken well. So I just go about my way, not really ghost, but if they ask, I'll be like, yeah, this doesn't align with who I am or what I'm looking for, so I have to go.
A wise lady once said, if someone shows you who they are,
Believe them.
believe them. And it's so true, because don't lie to yourself. If someone tells you straight up, hey, I'm into such and such, and you know you're not into such and such, don't lie to yourself and be like, oh, I think I can get with that. You're not going to get with it. So maybe don't lie to yourself and keep it moving.
Also, we're in a pandemic of great pretenders where
I like
People
that.
people like to show you what they think you want to
Mm-hmm.
know about them, or who you think they should be, and all of that, so they project. But then when you start like getting to really know the real them, when they get comfortable, you realize it's not the same person that they showed you like a few days
Yeah.
ago. And that's the reason why, like, you can get tricked, right? And that's one of the reasons I tell people that certain things I do not like. Don't try to be too fancy with me, or act like, I know it's hard, but just act like I'm someone you've known along with. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to ascertain who you are and if that aligns with me, as to if you come and you try to pretend that I'm this and that and that. And I see
Mm-hmm.
right through that. Don't try putting on a show for me. Like, be
Because at
who
the end of
you
the
actually
day,
are.
you don't want to be left looking like Boo Boo the Fool.
Which
So
people are very famous at doing,
for that, yeah.
and that's when the permanent lessons come, because like, you had an idea and this person painted a picture of what they wanted you to see and hear, and then when that doesn't like align, then you're like, damn, like, where is this coming from? Pay
Yeah.
attention to the signs, and you
Definitely
can
do
avoid them
that.
permanent lessons. And today, I don't think people are as temporary in my life in the past, like 10, 15 years ago.
Exactly.
Today, people are very, very temporary, so you have to like get used to people coming and going at this particular point in your life too.
And I honestly think that social media has a big part to play in that,
Yes.
because back then when we just met, like, we weren't all into Instagram and all these things. We met up, we talk and whatever, and look at us, we're still friends. My most of my friends that I have are people that either met when I was in university or high school, and we're still friends to this day.
Hmm.
Because back then I think it was just more genuine, I guess. And it's I guess I'm aging myself when I keep saying back then, but it was just different.
And that's what
But
I said. There's not
anyway,
a, because you have all of these people, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should be, no, just listen to yourself and what you actually like from people. Stop listening to social media and all these things, because that's why, all of these unnecessary expectations, these things, and people force them onto people that they just met. And yeah, that's the reason why we have like a lot of these problems. But
yeah, that's true.
anyways, so one of the other
So
things I wanted to talk about, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, you have the way we style ourselves and faux locks. What who traumatized you with faux locks? Because that's specific.
So I want to talk about the way we style ourselves first, then I can get into
Who did
that.
you see?
It's along the same thing. Something I've realized, and maybe I'm probably gonna sound really, I don't know, but anyways, something I've
Okay.
realized is that there's a lot of times people are attractive or something like that, but just the way they carry themselves, um, it's a little bit of a, why do you carry yourself like that?
Yeah.
Like, straighten up yourself, like go to the barber, like you don't have to, I'm not saying like dress fancy or stuff like that, but like clean up yourself, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I see some people and I'm like, why are you in the streets looking like a bum?
Oh, you know what I hate to
Like,
see the most? The
did, and
people
I'm
who
looking at,
wearing their pajamas out, like, oh, I'm running to Target. Please put something better on. Why are you out here in your pajamas? You're not in bed.
sometimes I see people and I'm like, why you're out here looking like a bum, like you look like you haven't showered
Or
something like
ironed
in
your
days,
clothes.
ironed you, and I'm like, how you
Cause
present yourself to the world in spaces that you walk into, I realize, are very, very, very important.
yes, it is.
Something I struggled to learn for years, the way you walk into a room, the way you walk when you're carrying yourself outside and stuff like that, it's very important. And I realize there's a lot of people who, they just carry themselves some ways, and I'm just like,
Because one thing that will always be true, first impressions they last.
mm-hmm.
So even at work, like you walk in, if you look all raggedy and shabby, depending on the job you're doing, people are going people are going to like pay attention to that, and like, why do you always look like that? And I get it, not everybody has like money or all that jazz,
No, 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 it's not about
but
money.
but you can still put yourself together and look nice and
S-
clean.
Someone said something the other day that having style is never about money
It's
at
not.
all. It's how you put things together.
Mm-hmm.
Wear things that compliments you, stand up straight, walk into a room,
Know
just
what
wear
works
things
for
that
your
complicate you.
body.
No works for your body. It's not about money wearing designer things because people, and it's something I've noticed. I've seen people who style themselves really well, right? And when I see them pictures, I'm like, yeah, cute, whatever, whatever, whatever. But when I see like a bunch of designer stuff and all of that, it's just gonna tell me that, you like labels, which is okay, but it doesn't really make me look at you as a stylish person because it seems as if you just wear labels.
Yeah.
Because you can go to Burlington and you can buy a simple scarf, a
You
simple
can
shirt,
go
a
to
simple t-shirt,
H&M
and then when I look at you, I'm like, damn, you look expensive.
because
So
it's
it's
how
not
you put it
necessarily about,
together.
yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I see people, and this is a reason why I said the thing about hair, the faux locks thing. It's not for everybody.
It's really not.
Mm-mm. If you have a straight face, straight or rectangular face, yeah, but
I'm
some
assuming
big
you
head,
saw someone
some big head.
specific because you specifically said Folox. So let's get into it.
And then everybody wants to put in faux locks. And I had the situation before.
When you say Folox, do you mean people who are
The
doing
fake
like
one.
the
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 fake
the
one.
crusher looking ones? Okay, okay.
And this again comes to upkeep, right? People put these things in and they never wash their heads.
And then the
And you
smell.
can smell it. Like it smell
I
like you
hate
haven't
somebody
washed
with
your
an
head.
with hair that smells.
You haven't washed your head in weeks. Cause especially like black person. Black people you don't wash your hair 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. It's not gonna smell that bad. But if I can smell it that bad, it literally means you've locked them locks in and you've never washed your head.
You know
And I'm
what
like,
I
personal hygiene
what
is very
drives me
important.
crazy when I come across those videos with people sitting in the salon chair and it's just gunk all over. I'm like, and then they're like, oh,
How do
4 months without a wash. I'm like, 4 fucking months without washing your hair?
and then
What
people
do you
say,
mean? You're not
"Oh,
homeless?
listen." People say, "Oh, depression and stuff like that and whatever," and that I can maybe see because like there's a certain things people who are going through depression experience and stuff like that. I can't really relate, but I can be like, okay, but again, some people it just. And I hate to say it is an automatic turn off for me. What's that?
No, but I mean, I get it. It's understandable.
I don't, and then they don't twist. They don't go and like get retwist and upkeep, and that's one of the
When
things
I
too.
had
Where I
locks,
say
like I would always get like, "Oh, your hair is so nice," and then I would get the, "I wish my son, I wish my boyfriend, I wish my husband would keep his hair as nice as yours." I'm like, well,
because they
this
have it
is a
matted,
commitment for me, so
they have it
I need to make
matted,
sure I look
and
good. And you
they
know
have
what?
it.
The other thing I hate, those jumbo locks. It's not for everybody. I hate seeing it. Better yet, it's for no one. Please cut that shit out. That's a style trend we should leave in 2024. Let's not bring that over to 2025. You know the other one I said we should leave in 2024. How why are we tucking in half of our shirts into our pants and then the
Oh,
other
were
half is
they?
out?
And
Why?
walking around with your butt cheeks,
We need to leave those in 2024, please. It's not cute. Is either
walking
you put it
around
all
with
the
your
way in or put it out. The fucker, why is it half in, half out? The fuck is that?
walking around with your butt cheeks all over the place, booty clapping. I can see your underwear, and you're walking in the
And then
street.
sometimes it has
Um,
holes.
not no one.
I hate seeing it so much. We need to leave those things in 2024. We're going into 2025. Let's leave them.
I absolutely hate sagging, and sometimes
You
it's
know what?
so bad. It's so
Why did you
bad.
bring this one? Because all the things that are irritating me are coming out. I hate sagging so much. I hate it. You know,
And
go ahead. I'm getting worked up.
No, I'm just saying that some of these things are things that I'll see on someone and I'll be like, I don't really care how attractive you are, but just because of that, I just
Yes.
can't. And now I understand why, like, when you see Pop the Balloon and the people are like, oh, I don't like this or I don't like this, I can understand the reason that there's usually a secondary reasoning why people don't want to say, oh, I like you, but it's the dreads. So I understand sometimes that there are secondary reasons why people
Hmm.
don't like these things. And it's the same for me.
Another one. If you're wearing colored contacts, please stop doing that. You do not be walking around here looking like a white walker. If
Especially if
they're
you're
not
black.
prescription and they were like, those are the ones you have to spend money for. But if you're going to like the dollar store to buy colored contacts, your dark chocolate with ice blue eyes. Why do you look like a white walker? I cannot see into your soul. The eyes are the windows to the soul. You're closing off your soul. Please let's stop that. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Don't sound very pointed. But anyways, that's kind of what I wanted to say about, styling yourself and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
no, I'm not a fashionista, I'm not a fashion guru. It's just that there's certain things that I see and I'm just like, you'd be nice if you just ditched this or you just did this and
But also, it as we said earlier, it doesn't take money. You can just put yourself together nicely
with what you
because
have.
exactly, because I don't have a lot of clothes. But when I put my clothes on, I look nice.
And I always say, no clothes make me look good and me make clothes look good.
That's it. We are the one wearing the clothes. The clothes not wearing us.
Exactly. But
That
anyways,
sounded very cocky a while ago.
I'm
But
sorry.
but it's
I work really hard for this. Ain't nobody can take that away from me.
honestly,
Anyways,
anybody can be stylish. It just depends on how you
hmm
put yourself together. And
and how
that's
you carry
it.
yourself too.
And how you carry yourself. That's true.
Because
Walk with
if you walk
confidence.
with confidence, hold your head up,
But the
fake
thing
it
is,
until
we're
you
saying
make it.
all this, but not everybody's at the level
With true,
where we're
very true.
at. So meet people where they are, as you said earlier.
Yeah, and my
But
biggest
still look
advice is fake it
nice
until you
and
make
smell
it,
good.
until you start believing it.
Exactly.
And with
Nothing
that
is worse
said,
than bad BO.
but what?
BO, body odor.
Oh, I've never heard someone call it bo before.
Really? Yeah, well, BO, body odor.
Anyways, and with
With
that
that
said,
said, because my battery's died. Yeah, my laptop is always dying. You know this. Because I didn't have it plugged in. With that said, we have come to the end of another riveting episode of Jiggles. I have been that guy Rickster,
this was Darian.
and we will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.